And we are live. My name is Rashna. I'm your host of RNN Live. Now, before we get into any topics for today, why don't we have our guests introduce themselves? Let me just set up our thing here. Where is it? Okay, here we go. Now, why don't we have our guests introduce themselves, starting from the bottom?
The world's going to end. There's going to be an eclipse. There's going to be a plague, and locusts and cats and dogs are going to live together, and the CRN is going to open up a gateway to hell. We're all doomed. Hi, my name is Steelfang.
Z?
I have no comment to say what the hell I just heard. And I'm a bit distracted because I'm currently going through a Helldivers withdrawal.
You've been playing that?
Yes. It's great.
Yes, he's been playing that. He's afraid of the clankers.
Oh, man.
I'm not afraid. They're fucking annoying.
Is it actually a lot of fun?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's making my computer melt itself. So
yeah.
Not exactly ideal for my setup.
I think my computer could probably take it now since I have a lot better stuff for it.
RAM is one thing. This more has to do with graphics. Last I checked, you didn't upgrade your graphics card.
I forget, what was the graphics card again?
Seriously. This is what I have to do.
I don't know computers, okay?
He's older than me, but I will forever annoy him with, I'll tell you when you're older. Well, you see, Outlaw, your computer has there are several main big components. There's the CPU, motherboard, GPU, or the graphics card, and the RAM. RAM is the memory. Graphics card is what processes those nice large amounts of graphics. CPU is what how much data the computer can process per se, and the motherboard is where all this stuff connects to.
Yeah.
I should not be telling someone who's just 5 years older than me the basics of a computer.
Well, fuck you. I am your fiance.
I don't care. I'm going to treat you like a goddamn Zoomer because already my own generation seems to think I'm a boomer, so might as well go with it.
Oh.
Well, now that we've got that out of the way, why don't we go through this? The video link doesn't work, but you can explain what happened here, Z.
Oh, it was a video. I didn't realize it was a
video. There was a video link originally, but it doesn't seem to load anymore. Actually, when I press on it,
retry. Yeah, no.
Yeah. But Z, did you want to explain what it is?
Basically, it's this program in various pods. So far, starting out in Vancouver, we're between two spots, and it has to do with areas where there's a lot of car traffic, and despite there being a crosswalk, a lot of people get hit over there. So, as the name implies, the new Be Seen Grab a Brick campaign to promote pedestrian safety crossings and other locations where motorists might not see brickless pedestrians. Yes, across the street from both sides, there are buckets filled with bricks. So you take a brick and you walk. Of course, you find a space to walk, and then you walk. And if they continue to go on, you have a brick. You're armed with a brick.
Yeah. Here in the United States, we have guns. So.
No, this is in the sense to wonderfully destroy the windshield or cause a nice dent in the hood. You don't want to kill the other person. You want to damage the car.
I want to kill them. If they try to run me over, I'm killing them. The vehicle is a lethal weapon.
Yes, but I think he's mostly talking about the sense that it's not necessarily on purpose. It could be that they, for whatever reason, just aren't paying attention.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just.
Well, I do agree with that. You know, if you're not paying attention, yeah, you get a damaged windshield. I do actually kind of like it. I can also see it going horribly wrong, like Antifa. I'm sure Canada has Antifa up there.
Any other comments, C?
Nope.
All right. Well, let's go on to our next thing, unless we have anything else we want to say about this. I don't know why there's a video of a Japanese boy.
Because they actually do it right. Just raise your hand. Hey, you know. And he looked both ways, which is what you're supposed to do, at least here in the United States.
That is an enormous backpack.
Oh, that's all the books and knowledges.
Look at it. It's like half the size of the child.
I don't know. That seems like a pretty standard sized backpack for me.
Oh, Jesus. I just find it funny. That's all. All right, let's go.
I just like how it looks solid. It doesn't look like a fabric backpack. It looks like something you could beat someone over the head with.
Oh, it will not survive one hit.
Let's go on to the next thing here. Okay, would anyone like to read it?
All right, let's see. FBI, if you're actively posting criticisms of the Biden regime on X, your account is being actively monitored by the FBI and or DHS. Make sure you get a Ring doorbell so when they come to your door, you can ask them to hold their ID up to the camera, then politely tell them you are not available and you don't answer questions. Do not open the door. Watch this video. So
okay, I guess we can watch the video to see if there's anything that happened. Oh, that's a long ass video. I'm not watching that.
How long is long, guys? Because you have a pretty short attention.
46 minutes.
Manageable content for
if I ever saw someone that says that they're FBI or DHS knock on my door, I'm gonna say, whatever you're selling, I'm not interested. Thank you. Have a nice day, and then close the door. I'm just gonna treat them like any other person because they're a fucking corrupt organization, and I will not treat them with any respect.
When they say never open your door, do they mean literally not open it, or do they mean not invite them in?
Don't open it, like period.
Open it.
Just talk to them through the Ring doorbell.
Like, why is that going to matter if you open it? To my knowledge, they can't enter unless you allow them.
What?
Or
Are they vampires?
What?
That's a good way of putting it. Law enforcement are vampires. If they don't have a search warrant and they enter your house, then they burst into flames.
It's funny to think of it that way. I've never actually thought of it that way. Oh, that's funny. But let's see what this. There's a little video here. We can at least see about this. Let me know if you can hear it. I don't think you can or not.
Yeah, I can hear it. Yep.
Yeah.
She's not. I was hoping to see if I could have a couple of minutes of her time. Sorry. Okay. Is there a chance I can make an arrangement to come back and talk to her, or what's it about? It's about the Baton Rouge subject.
Is this supposed to be an FBI agent? Like, I don't quite understand what's going on.
I'm sure it's supposed to be. But the fact that our so-called government, which I agree with this post, it's a regime. The fact that they're actively harassing Americans for freedom of speech. Mm-hmm. Like it's one thing to, flat out threaten, say, Joe Biden, but to have our government watch over you because you disagree with something, Jesus Christ. And no one's doing anything about it. This government needs to be thrown out. I mean, it really is a regime.
Keep in mind, when we say throw out, we don't mean anything illegal. We mean a voting process.
Yeah, sure we
Those who are
do.
listening, of FBI kind or any government official. We do not mean anything of any sort of illegal activity. We just mean of legal processes.
I certainly don't refer to literally throwing them out. Nope, not me.
Never mind. Just ignore him. I am not with him. He is just a guest.
I was agreeing with you. I'm totally not in favor of physically throwing them out. Nope, not me. Anyway.
We weren't on the list before. You certainly put us on this now.
I was agreeing. We should do it civilly. Through voting.
Say something.
I got nothing to say. I'm not going any higher up on that list.
Anyways, there's a few videos. Allegedly, they're supposed to be from FBI, people are saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
And even if they showed me their ID, like, I don't know what to look for to make sure it's an actual ID. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm supposed to look at. Like, you could literally print something that looks fairly real, and I'll be like, okay, I guess so. Because I don't know what an FBI badge or a detective badge or anything badge is supposed to look like.
Well, anyways, let's go on to the next thing. I believe you shared this, Steele?
Yes, I did. So, just a quick recap. So, someone from America, I believe it was someone from America, posted making fun of, or yeah, it was like making fun of someone in Australia, and it's someone, some sort of an official, and the Australian government is going through legal process to force Elon Musk to take said post down. And so now Elon Musk is suing the Australian government, and I'm just like, God, if I was, well, me being an American, it's one thing to have our own so-called government or our so-called fellow Americans trying to tell you what you can and cannot say, but a whole nother fucking country trying to tell you what you're allowed to say or post. Fuck you, Australia. If it were up to me, I'd be like, you know what? You want the reality of Mad Max? Because I'll fucking nuke you, Australia.
Well, I think the whole point here, I'm not going to say whether, I'm not saying I agree or anything, but I think the whole point is, since Twitter is being shown in there, they're asking for it to be taken down. And since
what they could do is just block the Twitter website.
Well, yes, that's what Australia might do. Might try to argue that they'll block Twitter from being seen in Australia or something.
Now, legally, you can do that, but don't fucking tell, especially an American, you can't say this or you can't post that. Fuck you.
Well, anyways, I think the whole thing is, if Elon wanted to do something, I mean, he can. I don't know. It's up to what he decides to do. I don't really know what he's going to do. I don't think he should give in to Australia at the very most. If he wanted to do something, I would say is just make it that I don't know, that thing not visible to Australians. I don't know. I'm not saying just so Twitter's still there in Australia if you wanted, but just make that thing blocked from the view of people in Australia. You know how like YouTube does with certain videos you can't view in certain countries because of whatever various reasons. Where he could still have the free speech aspect as he wants, more so in the United States, but because since the United States is a bit more open in that sense.
Yeah. Oh, so it looks like the post was written by a Canadian man. So take it up with Canada. It's so stupid to have one country try to
Anyways,
tell.
what was the post originally? Does it show here at all?
I'm not sure. I just wanted to send you the link of a article that discusses about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't look like, I don't know. I just wanted to send you something to prove that I'm not just making this shit up.
Mm-hmm. Well, you sent something.
I'm sure we could look it up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I really can't because I don't have Twitter.
No, they're just trying to see if they show what the original thing was.
Yeah.
The post had criticized an individual appointed by the World Health Organization to serve as an expert on transgender issues. X is withholding the post in Australia in compliance with the order, but intends to file a legal challenge to the order to protect its users' right to free speech.
So they're doing exactly what I thought they were doing. Okay.
All right. Well,
or said that they would be what I would recommend personally.
God, it just sucks to have a government, your own government, trying to silence you, too.
Well, this is Australia, not Elon Musk isn't from Australia.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying
he's from South Africa.
It just sucks that for freedom-loving Australians, because obviously not all Australians are happy with their corrupt government.
Mm-hmm.
But it sucks that they're living under that sort of tyranny. Anyway.
Well, Z, did you have anything else you wanted to share?
Was there nothing else from the channel back on Discord?
I mean, there's something you have about rain. A rain tax.
Oh, yep. That's
Canada. Yeah, in Canada they want to now do a very literal rain tax, where for every square foot or however amount again of flat ground you have to pay a tax based on that.
God, it's so fucking retarded. There has to be something in the air in Canada that's just making them absolutely retarded.
No, it's just the government and excuses.
Greedy fucking government. How can we screw over the people today? Rain tax. And it's such a beautiful country too. God, it sucks that it's controlled by tyrannical pieces of crap. But then again,
did you have something to show?
Yeah, I'm just gonna show off my Twitter likes because I got some stuff. Might as well react to this one. Michelle Obama was completely flabbergasted when this transgender kid suggested Michelle was transgender.
Oh.
Also, just the trans kid looks okay. Just wait till you see the hair.
Well, what's on your mind? What do you want to know? What do you want to talk about?
I'm just going to be blunt. The way that Michelle Obama moves kind of makes her look like she's an AI program.
What's on your mind? What do you want to know? What do you want to talk about?
Oh my God, that does look like she's an AI thing.
I wanted to ask you one question about your book, which, by the way, I have read and I love it. Divine. And yes, so I wanted to ask you, what advice do you have for teens who want to be themselves and thrive like you have and currently are?
Well, like you have and currently are, I mean, I am just so proud of you you know,
Oh, my
being just
God.
an amazing role model and
wonder-
embracing your truth, right?
Oh my God.
You were gonna say something, still?
No, it's just so cringy. It's I can feel
You're
the
you're
tension.
you're already doing this, so maybe this is for some other young people that are listening.
I feel.
But let me just
I need
say,
help.
it does take time to know what your but what's that?
Oh, it's looping. My bad. But yeah, you see with the way she moves, it does look like a fucking AI program. But that,
Yeah, it's weird. Like her lips were moving for the beginning there, and like nothing else.
False.
anyways, fact checkers are at it again.
Oh God.
Debunked white supremacist talking point commonly shared on neo-Nazi white nationalist hate sites. Stormfront falsely claims without evidence that the 2020 FBI crime statistics reported that African Americans make up 13% of the U.S. population, commit 58% of violent crimes. Origin: according to the FBI crimes reports actual numbers, African Americans commit only 57.85% of violent crimes and make up 13.21% of the population. This is the exact
Oh, that
same
makes
shit.
it better.
This is the exact same shit that Swiss banks do that they're notorious for. Because if you know, officially Swiss banks do not house money of dictators and so on. And every time, like the FBI or Interpol or someone does a probe for a certain account for a certain individual to track down if an individual that they're investigating is sending money to this person, they have to explain how much money is in the bank in order to get access by Swiss law, if I understood it correctly. But the thing is that they have to know the exact amount. So since you don't know the interest rate or how long that money has been in the bank or how much has been withdrawn, officially to Swiss banks, that bank account does not exist and they don't need to help.
Nice.
It's the exact same logic like this. Oh, this is false because here's the actual precise number that is the truth, but it doesn't make the statement any wrong.
That post literally makes me think that this fact checker literally said, "Well, actually."
I don't want to see the dog. That looks awful. What happened? I don't want to know.
It's makeup for Resident Evil.
Oh, thank
That's
God.
what I was thinking. I was like, "Is that Resident Evil?"
Yeah, it's the
Oh,
makeup.
thank God. I thought there was some poor dog was hurt or something.
No.
You thought it was a dog that was
It's just a
seeing
zombie dog.
Dr. Fauci. Oh my God.
That's
I have to put the volume down on this one.
Children. Oh my God. What a
Unironically,
fucking
what
child.
was her name?
I don't.
Did anyone catch the name?
I
Nope.
can't.
I'm calibrasted. What an unhinged fucking loser. God damn.
Oh boy. This one's just stupid.
They,
all
them are
around.
going to go far in life.
Kentucky woman quits her job after winning $90,000 from scratch off. She bought at a gas station. After taxes, she received $64,000.
Yep.
Yeah, $90K is not enough to quit my job.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's a good amount of money, but it's not enough to quit your job.
Probably just enough to have like a year vacation, a year-long vacation. That's probably about it.
Better would be just invest
Uh,
that.
Europe is starting
Yeah,
to become
true.
more hostile to migrants as time goes on.
Nice. It's about goddamn time.
This one's in Belgium.
Yeah. Fucking beat it.
I'm just going to say, for legal purposes, I do not support any illegal activity.
It's not
Yeah.
illegal if they're the ones starting the fight. And then, of course, there's a long list of videos.
Well, I'm
of-
sure he was referring to the illegals.
Mhm.
So,
Anyways,
I too am against illegals.
Someone want to read this?
San Francisco Bicycle Coalition says not to call police about stolen bikes because it hurts Black and brown people.
Okay.
We met a
God,
bit blatant.
just oh my God, the stupidity in that city.
Okay, this one's tragic, but it is hilarious. I know I shouldn't laugh, but she.
17-year-old Ernest Hart, murdered last night at a party in what they say was a dispute over a piece of chicken.
My brother died on my lap, and I couldn't do nothing about it.
The family tells the story this way. Last night there was a cookout in the Hillside Road neighborhood. About 10 to 20 people were there. Then came an argument. An argument over that piece of chicken. They say a man about 24 years old, a man that the Hart family knew, pulls out a knife and stabs Ernest Hart in the neck.
As man, all of us turned around, all we seen was blood just dripping from my little brother, and he fell to the ground.
But this whole argument started over
a piece of chicken.
Ernest Hart was one of 8 children. Ernest Sr. is his dad. He says he knows the suspect. You know the guy?
Yes, I know him. He used to come to my house all the time.
Why would he kill your son?
I had no idea.
And I have
Well, to be fair, I would definitely stab a person in the neck for. It would have to be the chicken plus orange soda.
Okay, I'm not even going to validate as a real statement. I'm just going to show this one because it's just funny to counteract that. Bro's accuracy is insane. Yes, that's a whole cake.
God, jeez.
And she has the signed cake, me. Spot on.
Okay.
You know what would go great with this? Wait, play it. Oh, memory.
But you also see another cake me sign over here, so I
Yeah.
just guess it's something that happens at this guy's concerts.
That's great.
I want some cake now.
Yeah, telling me. Anyways, this one's just bro is really trying to claim that trans people are being hunted. Has anyone ever done a study as to why they're so desperate to be genocided? This isn't normal behavior.
Trans Day of Visibility feels odd to me these days because visibility is not the issue anymore. I think it was like half a decade ago when we were all starting to post about being non-binary for the first time and everyone was like, what is this thing? But everyone knows about trans people now. We are hyper visible in society to the point of being hunted, disproportionately so for our Black trans siblings. Everyone knows about trans people now. The problem
Get
is
the
that people
shotgun!
don't care. I'm at this place where I don't care what infographics cis people are posting to like prove their allyship anymore. I care about how you're folding the politics of trans liberation into your daily life. I care how you're fighting these hundreds of anti-trans bills in your community. I care about how you're being critical of our two-party system because both parties are actively fucking over trans people. I care about how that radicalizes you. I care about mutual aid becoming a regular practice in your life. I care about
The fuck is mutual aid?
Fuck I know.
I thought you were a woman, Adla.
I am not!
He's Jewish.
I'm not that either.
Well, you know I have to do it, Adla.
Oh, fuck you. God damn both of you.
Adla
just
regrets
kidding.
to see me buy that music box now. For
I'm
10
gonna
years.
find that music box one day and destroy it.
Oh, don't worry, I have 2 backups. I come prepared.
That's awesome.
Solidarity with Palestine and Congo and Tigray and Hawaii and Puerto Rico has it.
The fuck is going on in the Congo now?
Oh God. Wait, no, I was thinking of the islands nearby. Never mind.
Okay.
Informed your international solidarity with these movements. I care about whether you understand the fight for abortion rights and the fight for trans rights are two sides of the same coin. I care about.
No, they're not. I'm gonna be blunt. I don't think abortion rights and trans rights are the same thing.
How you're challenging turf ideology in your community. I care that you see us as more than fashion icons and beauty queens.
Lady, you have a 5 o'clock shadow. It cost Richard Nixon to vote. Do either of you get that reference? Well, Outlaw is on mute, so I don't know what's going on with him.
I would assume, meaning like, since he's dead.
No. I forgot. Did Richard Nixon go against Kennedy?
I think so. When Kennedy was running, yes, originally I think they did.
Oh, okay. I don't know. It was before my time.
Anyway, I think Richard Nixon did reach to be the Republican candidate before, and I think it was Kennedy who won. Either way, a lot of statistics at the time, a lot of studies found that the biggest factor that people didn't like about Richard Nixon wasn't too much of his politics, it was actually his 5 o'clock shadow that pushed a lot of people away from him.
Huh, weird.
And short kings, and you see us as people who deserve dignity and protection in society. I care about your capacity in this movement because we're in this for the long game and sustainability is key. I don't really care what you posted for Trans Day of Visibility. I care that you are making sustainable, tangible action steps towards building a safer future for us, because that's what we actually need.
I don't know, this person seems pretty safe recording themselves out in the open streets where no one is bothering to look at them, despite the fact that they sound very obvious.
Yeah, realistically, no one gives a shit. They just don't want it shoved down their throats.
Mm-hmm. Johnny Somali went to Israel and got arrested by the police.
Who?
Yeah,
Johnny Somali is the Somalian streamer that harassed people in Japan and then was arrested.
Japan. Right, that dumbass.
By the way, he openly admits on video that he lied to get out of the Japanese courts.
What did he lie about specifically?
What?
What did he lie about specifically?
Apparently, the Japanese courts like to do things relatively quickly, so they more expect you to be honest, like a Japanese person.
Yeah. But they were dealing with...
Oh, you a bad bitch. I swear to God. You a bad bitch. I'll take you to dinner. I swear to God. I'll change your life. I'll change your life. Baby, I'll change your life. I promise you.
And this is
you a bad bitch right here.
In what country again?
I'll change your life.
Israel.
You ain't gotta work for these niggas no more. Bitch, I'll change your life.
African and in Israel. That's a nice combination. Do not be prison alive.
I'm in the sidewalk.
He automatically thinks that United States laws are like, I guess, all over the world.
What
a fucking idiot. He's saying, "Oh, I'm on the sidewalk," as if that's going to help him. Yeah.
Anyways, they arrested him for allegedly disrespecting an Israeli. Yeah. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, they also got him on harassment, which this is harassment.
Well, yeah, it is harassment for sure.
I'm in the sidewalk. I'm from America. What are you doing? Okay, Karen,
they don't care.
I'm going, nigga. What the fuck? Oh, I say. My phone. I'm in America. What are you doing?
It's time for a stupid meme.
Okay.
I do wonder, do mosquitoes that drink the blood of an alcoholic do die?
No, they just have a hard time flying.
Okay, that's a good one. I like this one. Not this, of course. Doing this as a native who lives in the U.S., how'd I do? And it's stolen land, stolen too. Blah, blah, blah. Hit tweet, follow for more bangers and yapping about Red Dead Redemption 2 and whatever RTC is. I don't know. I just like to go to response to this stuff.
Jeez.
Now this one, you're...
How much do I owe you for rent again?
$800.
I just don't have a lot of money at the moment. Is there something else that I could give you instead?
No, I'd probably just like the money.
Could I interest you in one tit?
I'd really just appreciate the rent money.
There's so much surface area, so many options.
I don't really want that.
And I'm into everything. Holding hands, tongue in mouth, showering with my clothes off, watching each other go number 2.
You know what? Let's just forget about it, okay?
Really?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just Monopoly money.
You weren't expecting that now, weren't you?
No.
What else we got?
It's a good strategy. Oh my god.
So here, signal jamming is becoming more prevalent in North America. If you can't call 911 during a home invasion, what's your plan? If your Wi-Fi alarm doesn't notify you of intrusion, how will you react? And yes, this is a stupid thing. Signal jamming is becoming a more and more frequent thing in the US.
Mm-hmm.
It will be that for some people.
You know me.
What else we gonna... I'm just gonna give this one as a classic.
Yeah, I like it. Well, any other things that we should talk about? Any other news?
I guess we probably got some stuff around. Yeah, just have to go about finding it.
Did we want to talk about the Daily Wire and the thing that's going on with them?
If you want to. I personally, it's so fucking chaotic and stupid. I don't really agree on either side. There's already so much division in this country between the left and the right. It's bad enough that we have so much division between the left and the right. Mm-hmm. We don't need division within either party. You know what I'm saying? And it sucks that the two individuals can't be adults about the whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
it sucks.
In terms of some other stuff, this is a central London property for £1,850.
So that probably be
per
over
month,
$2,000.
or roughly $2,300.
Yeah.
No pets allowed as well. I had to put the sound off because it's just fart music. But yeah,
Jesus.
Don't worry. They actually get a better situation than most Americans. She actually has a bathroom
and a shower of her own.
Yeah, that's literally.
I honestly prefer showers
in New York.
Yeah, I honestly prefer showers over bathtubs.
Same.
I wish I had a bathtub, but showers are always cheap.
What are you, gay?
No, bathtubs are an effective way of testing out ship models.
Oh yeah, no, that's. Or couldn't you just? Oh wait, no.
If you get a bucket, big stuff. You
yeah.
would think like a bucket. Oh, it's easier because it's cheaper and so on. But then you realize, how do you dispose the water?
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking like a big size sink, obviously bigger than that one on the screen there, but.
Yeah, but sinks aren't really ideal because they're curved.
Not my kitchen sink.
Well, anyways, but yeah, that's just expensive.
Yeah.
Listen, want to know how to beat leftists? Literally just say and do this.
Watch where you walking, bitch.
What did you... Wait a minute. I'm white.
Where you going?
Boondock.
Jesus. Oh my God. That's so freaking messed up.
But I did want to mention one thing that I saw recently, which I thought might be an interesting thing if you know about it, Z.
What?
Non-market housing, if you know much about that.
I have no idea what you just said to me.
Basically, it's mostly where charities predominantly, but also governments might also do this. Local governments, certainly, to somewhat, where they set up housing in a sense for people pay for more at where places are being rented out, but rented out to where it's just covering only the costs of the place. Like the place doesn't make a profit, but it's usually done by nonprofits and governments.
Well,
Yes.
that's not a bad idea. That's definitely better than what's it called? Subsidized housing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was looking at it and I forgot which country. I think it was. They said I watched a video about it where it seems that it can work if you have a significant amount. You have to have a significant amount of it.
Someone start reading this.
Okay, I work at McDonald's and we have these little cards that we give to customers when we fuck up their order, and that lets them redeem the card for a free Big Mac. Just recently received a box of these special coins. They are going to serve the same purpose. If you have one of the coins, you can exchange it for a Big Mac. It's for the 50th anniversary of the Big Mac. Now, I'm far from an economics expert, so this may just be a stupid question, but since our money has no value anymore, since it was taken off the gold standard, where these coins from McDonald's are backed up by Big Macs, does that make them a more stable currency than our own money? And yes, it does.
But it's not as valuable as a Royale.
Well, anyways, back to what I was trying to say with the non-market.
Really? I thought that was a good joke.
Back to what I was trying to say about the non-market housing, because I recently watched a video about it. I don't remember which city was in Europe, but it seems like it might be a good thing to lower rent. But I figured it could also do something similar with people buying places as well.
I'm listening. I'm sorry. I'm also watching.
And not having to put regulations like a price on where people can sell their place, but have specific buildings or complexes where those are the only ones that's regulated, and that will lower everything else as well. Not to where what's the word I'm looking for? Like where there will be housing available for people that is more fair, but it's mostly run by nonprofits, and maybe some government organizations can run it as well, helping it, or maybe they buy it out by the government, and then they have a charity run it. Sort of like how
whenever the government is involved, it usually ends up poor.
Yes, however, that's usually when the government runs it itself. Like government can give money for something, but have someone else run it, and if it can be done right. For example, Central Park has been in New York City is owned by the government, but it's actually run by a charity.
Huh, okay.
And it has been very successful. For example, people mistakenly think that Central Park is run by the government, which it's not. It has not been run by New York City, and has been run by a charity that's been running it, and that's why Central Park is much nicer.
Aren't there constant stabbings in that park?
Yes, but that's more to do with New York City not issuing its laws. When I say it's a nicer park in the sense that it looks aesthetically more pleasing than when a park is usually run by a government.
I do like my parks to have a bit of blood splatter. No.
Anyways, what I'm trying to get at is that I think this would be a good middle ground potentially without having to get into regulating the market.
Yeah.
Which we have more places set up for people to buy or rent, and it's just, and that way it will also bring down housing costs and rent costs, I believe, and keep it much more stable, and not have it go up this huge up.
if it works, I'm for it.
Because I forgot which city it was. There was some cities in Europe that had do this to some extent.
I've never heard of this beforehand.
I think it was in Switzerland, maybe it was, which has helped. I think at one city in particular. But for example, I think what European city it was, they had like 60% of housing people are in non-market housing, 60%, and it's keeping their rents significantly lower comparatively than to other places that don't have it. Rents lower not only the people who are living in it, but also rents that aren't market housing has kept that housing cost significantly lower because of the competition.
Now, you're not talking about Section 8 housing?
No.
Okay, good.
I'm not talking about anything like that. As I said, this is normally run by charities, these kinds of things. And governments might subsidize the charities to help get them started, but it's always run by charities.
Okay.
Charities or organizations, stuff like that. Churches or nonprofits like that. And where they don't run it at a profit. They just cover the costs, basically.
Yeah.
And what it seems to be if you have a significant amount, it can be beneficial to people in the area, because obviously if you don't have enough, there's going to be long wait times to get into a place. But that's why if you have a significant amount of it, this gives people opportunities to be able to get into it, more affordable places to live, but also will reduce overall cost, it seems. I think there was an example, for example, one city that used to have more non-market housing, but has significantly decreased in the amount of non-market housing, has seen an increase because of that. So it seems like this might be a good middle ground in which we get, if we can get more non-market housing with charities or organizations, and if we need to have governments maybe subsidize it, getting the charities into it, in the sense that way, but have the charities run it. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
I definitely think it'd be something worth trying, definitely.
Yeah, and like I said, if it works, I'm for it. And I definitely agree. We need to get these prices of homes and apartments down.
But yeah, but still it would require deregulating parts and, as I said, subsidizing. In the short term, it would be very costly, obviously. But in the long term, I think it would be very beneficial to people without having to regulate the market, which I don't think is going to upset it as much as price controls. I think this would be better than potentially a price controls, which might have more drastic negative effects. But I think this would have more positive effects. As long as if they do subsidize to help a charity or church or whatever buy a place and then renting it out or being able to sell it, and then it, I think that as I said, in the short term it would be costly, but I think in the long term it would be beneficial for people. And as far as the selling place thing, I was thinking in the sense you can sell it, and then a person who buys it, they can't. You can have a regulation for those specific properties that have been named as non-market properties. They can't, drastically increase the cost of it. In words, you can have a regulation for that specifically for non-market properties that have been named non-market properties. For example, I think there's somewhat similar to what some properties do in San Francisco, but something similar in that sense, but only when it's a non-market property. And if people want to sell and move, they can sell it, but they have to sell it only to whatever is the inflation increased price.
Yeah.
Rather than just going up, because people are selling their homes for $1 million, you can't sell your place for $1 million because you bought it at such a low cost amount. And that's what I think would be a good alternative to the idea of price controls. We just get a bunch of non-market housing where it's not an investment, it is an asset, and you treat it as an asset. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think today has become such of an issue where now people are treating homes more as an investment and not as an asset, which it is supposed to be an asset, not an investment. The only times really it should be an investment is if you are renting out a place. That's the only time it should be an investment.
Exactly.
And when I say that as an investment, I'm not saying as in you can charge, it should be that people should just charge ridiculously high prices, but in the sense that they're getting income coming in and they're making, do you get what I mean? I guess.
Yeah. Yep. No, I get it.
Anyways, I just recently saw that video and it's just like, I thought it was a good idea possibly to look in for cities and places to implement more.
Well, I definitely recommend that you bring it up to. I guess you would have to bring it up to the city council or something.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, if in order for it to be effective, it would require a significant portion, it seems, though, of housing to be of non-market.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only downside. It would require a significant percentage of available housing to be non-market.
Well, wait. So you never fully own the house, then?
No. For example, what I was talking mostly is they said mostly for rental, but I figured
gotcha.
do a similar thing for building places to be sold as well. I think you could do something similar.
Gotcha. Okay.
But the video was more focused on rent for like non-market housing for rentals. But I figured you could do something for non-market housing for buying a place, but you could have a specific regulation in place where if it's listed as a non-market property that you bought it as, you have to still sell it as a non-market property where it will just only adjust to inflation price.
Yeah.
Or you can sell it to the inflation price originally what you bought it at, but you can't sell it any more than that. And the places that aren't, non-market, they can sell their ridiculous prices.
Mm-hmm.
But I figured if you have non-market places that are just going to, only adjust to basically originally what they were sold and built for, it's going to be much more that's going to be competing with places that aren't. So I would figure that would also bring down the cost everywhere else, but especially in the rental portions it would be beneficial, even if we can't do the non-market but buying a place. They definitely, in the rental sense, it can definitely help that area.
Yeah. Slightly off topic. You should actually know about this. How did our country I would assume our country always had taxation to some extent, but how was it before the 16th Amendment?
Are you asking how everything was taxed?
Yeah.
Well, before income tax, a lot of the income was from taxing alcohol.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Alcohol was the one of the biggest things that they got their income from.
So essentially, it was through sales tax.
Well, specifically through alcohol.
Interesting. So alcoholics were essentially keeping the country running.
I guess you could say that.
It wasn't. Essentially, it was.
Obviously, there were other taxes, but if I recall, the tax on alcohol was the biggest moneymaker for the U.S. government at the time.
Yeah, but I'm definitely I'm a firm believer in repealing the 16th Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to ask about that.
I understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how it was made mostly. And of course, I think it would be better if we went back to a sales tax rather than an income tax, but a more progressive sales tax. And when I mean progressive, I don't mean politically progressive. I mean in the sense that I believe if we were to implement a federal sales tax, there are certain things that are going to be taxed more than others, I think. Or more what's considered brand luxury, if a brand considers themselves a luxury brand, or if it's something that's not really, people really seriously need, those things
Yeah.
I feel should have a higher sales tax than other things. Things that are more necessities.
That makes more sense.
I don't think should either have very little or no tax on them. Like, let's say, for example, vegetables. Unless it's listed as a luxury vegetable or something, like Whole Foods. Tax that. People want to spend their whole paycheck for that. You can tax that. But if at a regular grocery store it isn't considered more of a luxury.
Okay, so higher end grocery stores, as long as it's vegetables. But if it's, say, like soda or candy,
I think those things should be taxed regardless.
Yeah, I agree.
Things that aren't, as I said, necessities, or that are of luxury or not necessities, I think those things should be taxed.
Yeah.
And at varying levels, depending on what all it is. But yeah.
What about like meat? I would say, like,
only if it's a luxury meat.
Yeah, like it's from, a top quality, a world-renowned butcher shop in New York or something.
If they're branding themselves as a luxury, basically, and say that they're a luxury,
then of
yes,
course
I do believe there should be a tax. And if it's very expensive still, and they're not branding themselves luxury, but they're still very very abnormally expensive, I would say at least a small tax on that as well. But regular meat that you buy at usual grocery stores, no, I wouldn't say that it should have necessarily a tax. And if there is a tax, it should be only a very small one.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I agree.
As I said, I'm more of the I believe there should be something more of a progressive sales tax. Now, obviously, that'd be a very complex thing. I wouldn't know fully how to implement it, but I'm just general ideas is what I have.
Yeah.
You probably would still have to have a sales tax on, as much as I dislike it, you probably would have to have some sales tax on non-luxury necessity items. I would assume you might have to still, but I would like it that it wouldn't be super high.
Yeah, for sure.
So that way, people who are middle class and lower class are not as negatively affected. And people who want to spend on luxury items, they are taking most of that rent, my hope would be. Now, if the poor want to buy their luxury items, that's their stupid idea.
Yep.
And also, as I said, for things that aren't necessary, like sodas and stuff, those I do think should still be taxed at a moderate rate, at least.
Yeah,
and
agreed.
I'm not in the belief that, it's hurting the poor, we shouldn't tax soda. I'm not in that belief. I'm in the
that's stupid.
That tax it to where it's going to bring profit to the federal government, in the where it's not going to be where people are going to try to get.
I would actually say to at least cover the cost of protecting the country, say our military.
I wasn't even talking about that. I'm talking about in the sense of profit, in the sense that people aren't going to be smuggling the soda in from somewhere else, or people aren't going to feel like they are going to be doing that.
Yeah. Okay. No.
Because, there's at a point where people are more likely going to do something else to get whatever product they want, to avoid certain taxes or laws.
We already do some sort of tax for stuff that we get from foreign countries, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Then there's also customs.
Yeah.
Anyways, any other topics we want to discuss? Because I think we'll be ending here in just a second.
No, don't really have anything.
We didn't bring it up, even though that it's in the not the Facebook, not Telegram, Instagram. Oh, fuck it. Well, anyway,
Discord, you mean?
Huh?
You mean in Discord?
Yeah, Discord. Sorry, got my shit mixed up. It's posted here, and I was.
What is it?
I'm sure there's more to it, and I'm not quite getting it. It's they're protesting because they failed the same class twice. Now that could go.
Oh, that one.
That could go both ways. I took it as both ways. Either they're too stupid, and so they're complaining, or the school failed them.
Did you want to go through the?
Well, the thing is, it has to do with the influx of foreign students, primarily from India, where they go to one university, they fail the class, and then they go to another university and fail the class again. And instead of acknowledging that, maybe if we're failing the same type of class time and time again at two different universities, we're not really up for the job.
Yeah, so it is their fault then. Got it.
Yes, but instead of doing that, they're instead protesting to either have it done again, but of course the government pays for it, or just to let them pass.
Oh, fuck.
And that is a very Indian thing to do.
So
that's the rain tax.
Ah, I was just seeing that you were sharing it, so. Well, anyways, any other final thoughts or things we wanted to say?
We're doomed.
All right. Well, then I think that will be it for today. Thank you for those who may watch this stream in the future. If you do, please go ahead and support Z Commander and get a commission from him. Do all this, and we'll see y'all later.